Achiever Times News and Portal present the weekly career program Agam Shiksha Sugam Career, Session 2, Episode 11, Biodiversity English version. Producer Vivek Srivastav, camera and editing Rahul, technical support Rajkamal Tripathi, secretarial assistants Devika, Rajnandini, Bhagiratna, Harshit Mishra and Arpit Mishra, resource person Dr. Agam Dayal, Associate Professor of Zoology, DAV PG College Lucknow, mobile 9411699706. Hello, good morning. You are welcome today in 11th episode of Session 2 of Agam Shiksha Sugam Career. Today we will talk about biodiversity. Actually, biodiversity is the assembly of all living organisms, plants and animals found in a particular locality, and they make an important part of economy of a country. If by pollution or urbanization that biodiversity is decreased, it will affect the economy and further growth potential of a country. So we will have to take cognizance of its biodiversity. All of you must have seen the famous Bollywood film of Amir Khan, Tare Zameen Par.
खो न जाए ये तारे ज़मीं पर.
But how many parents and teachers follow the message given by that picture in their daily life? Today, 99% kids in India are crazy about playing video games on their parents' mobile phone. We all every time try to instruct them to avoid this habit, but it is all in vain. What is the reason of this habit and what is the remedy? We do not try to understand the reason behind this bad habit. The problem is that we are not giving exposure to our kids about nature, flowers, animals, wildlife, rivers, mountains, clouds, sky, stars, rainfall, snowfall, etc. and etc. The irony is that topic like environmental science is taught in classroom on blackboard and whiteboard, which should actually be taught in the field. One of my granddaughters is reading today in class 4th. Normally she avoids the homeworks and revision of class studies. She is very good in Hindi, she is very good in English, good in computer, good in mathematics. One day she saw the book Vertebrate Zoology written by R.L. Kotpal on my study table. For hours together she was busy in looking upon the diagrams of different mammals, birds, snakes, lizards, frogs, fishes, etc. She asked me many questions about these animals. One day we visited a park. She was busy running behind and attempting to catch all the squirrels. Unfortunately, these days such events are lacking in our daily lives. So the need of present day is that as a parent, as a teacher and as a counselor, first of all we should try to understand about the interest of students. Secondly, we should try to make the studies more interesting. All of you must have visited a hill station in summer season. When you come down from the bus, you might have met the porters and police there. These porters keep the luggage bag on their back and tie them in the form of a pittu bag. The Indian educational system has also made our kids a slave or a porter. 99% student kids wear their school bags on their back and shoulders like a pittu bag. All physiotherapy doctors always advocate that the weight of a school bag should be less than 1/10 of the body weight, but we are not following this suggestion. The Britishers had left India 74 years ago, but still we are crazy about English medium and British culture. During last 70 years, the school education in India has become focused on quantity based and very less on quality based. We do not teach the students about logic, reasoning, mental ability, problem solving attitude, leadership skill, soft skill, etc. The present education system in India focuses much upon completion of syllabus examination system, answering the question in the copies of homework and their evaluation by the teachers. In education today, we are putting the burden of school and college studies, tuition and coaching, computer and English speaking courses, and a burden of preparation of competitive examinations. Even after putting all these burdens on students, an elasticity and flexibility has totally disappeared from education system. I remember the year 1966-67. When in summer vacation Institute for Degree College Teachers, a book was distributed on animal diversity. In 1968, Raymond F. Dassman used for the first time the word biological diversity. In 1985, W.G. Rosen used the word biodiversity for first time. In 1965, Whitaker gave the 5 kingdom classification and divided the living organisms into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. In 1990, Carl Woese, on the basis of studying variations in nucleotide sequence of 16S ribosomal RNA, divided the living organisms into 3 domains and 6 kingdoms. But in the syllabus of most of the Indian universities, we are teaching the same classification of animal and plant kingdoms. Above all, after studying all these lots, there is no guarantee of employment and placement. Due to these discrepancies, nowadays the present youth has started absconding from usual classes. A habit of book reading is declining in India and all over the world among the school-going youths. In most of the schools and colleges, study of biology is started by classification of animals and plants. I would like to ask, why should we remember many new terms like Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Reptilia, etc.? This system of education is very, very cumbersome and full of boredom. So, it is the need of time that we should start the biology education from biodiversity. We can talk about animals in which mother feed milk to the child, burrowing animals, flying animals, aquatic or land-dwelling animals. This system is more convenient, more comfortable and palatable. In animal kingdom, the highest evolved animals are the mammals, in which the mothers possess a pair of mammary glands and they feed milk to their young ones. Man is also a member of this group of mammals. Their body also contains hair and sweat-secreting glands. The biodiversity of these mammals is also very interesting. Some of the mammals are aquatic and swim into water like fishes. Bat is a mammal, but it flies in the sky like a bird. Some, like horses, run very fast. Some of the mammals dig a tunnel in soil and live in that. For living in different types of environments, these mammals have developed some special characters. This process is called adaptation. Normally, the mammals give birth to young ones, which are miniature adults, and they do not lay hen-like eggs. But in Australia, there are 3 species of egg-laying mammals: Echidna, Proechidna, and third, Platypus or duck-bill mole. In these 3 species, you will be surprised to know that both mother and father secrete milk, and the young ones suckle that. These 3 egg-laying mammals are also termed prototherians. In Australia and nearby adjacent islands, a group of mammals, including kangaroo, wombat, etc., give birth to incompletely developed young ones. Mother has a basket-like structure in lower abdomen called marsupium. After birth, the young ones reside for much of the time in this marsupium and sometimes take out their head and eyes out of basket to see the world around them. The most primitive representatives of mammals are the shrews. The smallest mammal was a member of this very group called pygmy shrew or sorex. Shrews make a burrow in the soil and live there. At this moment I shall tell you a very interesting fact. A few years ago we were said that monkeys and apes were ancestors of human beings, but actually the human characters had started developing long ago from some elephant shrews. All other shrews and primitive animals have a monocular vision, but the elephant shrews for the first time developed the binocular vision. Initially, ancestors of elephant shoes were land-dwelling mammals. Monocular vision you see in dog, cow, etc., where both eyes focus on different objects at a time. But in human being, monkeys and apes, the two eyes focus on same object. It gives a three-dimensional image, depth or correct interpretation of the distance. So, when there was a shortage of food on land, some of the elephant shoes shifted for a tree-dwelling or arboreal habit. In an arboreal habit, while making jump from one to the other tree twig, a correct judgment of distance was essential. For this, they developed the binocular vision. Before that, all 5 fingers of hands and feet were parallel to each other. The fingers of hands were also similar to the fingers of our legs, parallel to each other. But now, the first finger or thumb was bent at 90-degree angle from all other fingers. By this change, holding of tree twigs and later on tool handling became easier. Some of the mammals eat ants, so they are called ant eaters. There are many varieties of ant eaters. The hair of spiny ant eaters found in Australia have become modified into spines. So other animals cannot eat this animal. There is a scaly ant eater, Manis or pangolin. Its skin has lizard-like scales. Some of the mammals have become secondarily aquatic. Many times we say that whale is the largest fish. No, it is an incorrect statement. Whale is not a fish. Whale is a mammal. The mother whale feeds its milk to its young ones, but a fish do not feed milk to its young ones. Of course, in the first glance, whale, dolphins and porpoises appear similar to a fish. But in the tail of a true fish, the 2 lobes are vertically positioned, whereas the 2 lobes of tail of an aquatic mammal are horizontal in position. They are called tail flukes. In horses and many other fast-running mammals, there is a change in leg bones. There are 3 grades: plantigrade, digitigrade and unguligrade. In plantigrade foot, the whole foot touches the ground while walking. Such animals cannot run very fast. Our legs are also plantigrade. In the same context, persons having flat foot are not admitted in defense services because they cannot run very fast. Have you seen the spiked shoes of fast-running sports persons? It contains elongated nails in the heels. When we try to run very fast, only the digits of the legs touch the ground. This is called digitigrade condition. In horse legs, only 1-2 fingers of the leg touch the ground while running. This is called unguligrade condition. Similarly, a bat is a mammal, but it can fly like a bird. In 1793, a scientist, Spallanzani, in the city of Pavia of Italy, performed some very interesting experiments. There was a church and many bats lived in the tomb of its roof. The father of that church was very much annoyed with the garbage created by those bats. One day, Spallanzani caught hold of those bats and left them in a forest 5 kilometers away. All those bats came back. Next time, Spallanzani blinded those bats and left them in the forest. Again they came back. Next time, Spallanzani blinded those bats and filled their ears with a cotton plug. This time the bats were unable to come back. Spallanzani concluded that the bats actually produce some ultrasonic waves which collide with object in the pathway and return as echo. But bat actually locates the objects by the echo of these ultrasonic waves. It is called echolocation. A bat can cross through the space in between 2 wires which are simply 1 millimeter thick. So the final conclusion is that we should try to connect the school college curriculum much with the real life and nature. Then and then only we can be able to develop interest of present day youth where they studies. Then they will connect them with their career in the future in a more fruitful way. So let us make a new start for all these changes. Thank you.